Mr. Entitlement, who's already been trying to shake me down over the use of his bench over here for some treats. Now he's saying I'm going to steal your car.
Harry's cousin Karen came for a couple of days to Oregon and stayed on the coast. We went over and met her and enjoyed a wonderful sunset together.
These are fighting words. Green tomatoes picked and then just left there. And who's doing that? Well, I saw a batch of turkeys riding off into the sunset. Needless to say, the tomatoes have sought the employment of some protection. And that protection will go online right away. We're kind of excited down here on the driveway, clogging things up. This pretty red tree, which actually bears plums every year, usually just as the plums come in, some critter comes and they are gone overnight, all of them. And so you can see there's actually quite a few up in there. I don't know if I'll be able to get that high, but this year we're excited because I just tasted one and they taste good, and there's still some here. Woohoo! So there we go, a bucket of plums.
Chris went on the Camino walk this summer from somewhere in Portugal to Santiago, Spain, and here he is in front of the cathedral in Santiago. While Chris went on this journey alone, he made a lot of friends along the way. This was the fourth summer that Terry and I joined the blueberry harvest at Radke's Blueberries. My job is to drive around and pick up all the picked berries out of the field that our paid pickers have picked. And then I weigh them and record them to make sure each of our pickers gets what they're due. Bring them into the sorting belt, and there they get the good ones sorted out from the bad ones. There's Ed Radke down at the end of the sorting belt. And here's Janet taking a turn. I think that was a pretty long day for all of us. Here's Janet with 10 and 15 pound boxes. And here we have some U-pickers that are taking a break and just enjoying soaking up the scenery. A local strawberry farmer asked if we would mind doing some marketing. And we said yes. I think they lasted almost a day. And this is a neighbor for the Radkes trying to get into the blueberry patch.
We got a day off of our blueberry farm today. Long day yesterday and got way ahead on today. So we're taking the day off today and get a chance to catch up on our farm. A little bit of harvest going on. I see we've had some visitors in the garden. Turkey feathers. But I also see on our raspberries, now we have two varieties of raspberries. This is the older variety, older to us anyway. Oh, looks like I have a couple coming here, ripening. I hadn't seen those. Oh boy. Nummy nummy, gonna have to get out here and pick. Well, not exactly nummy nummy. These are not exactly full of flavor, which is why I tore half of them out down here and I'm starting to replace them with something else. different variety of raspberries. But I see that that's had some visitors too. And you look at the leaves stripped off there, the younger, more tender leaves, all from about knee-high up. And in the Bambi movie, they said, "Man in the forest." Well, in the garden. So, Bambi, you may be going on notice here. We'll have to check the critter cam and see what's going on with that, but I bet it's kind of full of evidence. These are cucumbers, and they're going hog wild. And I don't know who thought it would be a good idea to plant 2 full rows of cucumbers. But here's what's happening. And then of course we got the corn over here, beans over here. Now, I like to this time of year get out and harvest about every 2 days, because if you let it go past that, it gets scary. Unfortunately, it's been about 3.5 days since the last harvest, and scary. Okay, and that's half our beans. I need to loosen up another bucket there. I'm taking a little bean break here to do a farm report. I also see that our tomatoes have had visitors, much like our one variety of raspberries. And so the leaves along here are not looking too good, are they? Somebody's been coming along and nipping those off. And somebody came along last week and pulled off all the large-sized green tomatoes. Left little bite marks in it, said, "Yuck, this is a green tomato. It's not ready yet." Seemed to need to pull most all of them off in order to figure that out. So, our bad for not having our fence back up yet. Not that our little farm fence would keep a deer out, but you can see right now it's just an open invitation. It's kind of like an engraved invitation. Come on in, we really want you. So we may have some deer consequences to deal with, but so far we're getting cucumbers and beans. We'll see how the rest of it goes.
A couple of the kids on our blueberry picking crew had pigs entered in the 4-H competition at the county fair. So we took a day off and went down to see what there was to see at the county fair, plus the kids and their pigs. This is one of the actual pigs. Not terribly active. And this is the other one. Obviously we came during siesta time. And as long as we were there, we had a seat and watched the rodeo. Buckaroo. Rodeo queens.
It's time once again to visit the Redneck Garage, where today we went briefly under the hood to disconnect the battery because we are digging inside the car. Now let's see, we've already pulled a few things out. See if you recognize that, or that. Well, let's take a look. Okay, so what we're doing, obviously we've pulled the dash all the way apart because it doesn't normally look like that. Usually all those trim pieces are in here. And the reason we're doing it is because of this thing right here. So a couple weeks ago, we lost low beam headlights. And this little bugger controls the turn signal, it controls cruise control, wipers, and high-low beam. And it's kind of notorious for a weak spot in this model car. So I believe on our other Buicks, I've probably replaced, I don't know if it's 2 or 3 of these. Kenny's replaced one, I know. And so in order to do it, you got to take the dash apart so that you can take this steering wheel cowling apart, which needs to come next, so that you can remove this switch instrument cluster and put in a new one. So Kenny's here today. He's finishing up his other job, the less important one at Intel, so that he can come and join me and help me out with this, because it does include a little bit of under the dash stuff where the wiring harness ends and hooks in. And he volunteered to help me with that, which I don't mind having the help at this point. My shoulders aren't as excited about reaching up under dashboards as they used to be. Well, we're making some progress. I got the new one out of the bag. And we have cowling off. Steering column cowling. And we have the old switch semi-removed. And now we have the wiring part to do. And this is the part where I can use Kenny's help. I have turned the master mechanic loose on, well, I don't know about master. Do you have your official YouTube certification yet?
Not quite yet.
YouTube, you're still working on your, so it's our apprentice YouTube master mechanic.
Could be a wedding gift, though.
Oh, wow. You need to get, you think YouTube is that generous as a wedding gift, huh? So we do have the new turn signal indicator in, and Kenny did the dirty work of getting down under and standing on his head and doing the wiring piece. Thank you,
right.
Kenny.
That's right.
Yeah. And now we're just putting the steering cowling back together.
Mm-hmm. Cowling it good.
Cowling it good. Yep. All right. Well, here's everything put back together. We got the dash and all those components back in together. Everything is working. We've got headlights on and dinging and brights, low beams. Woohoo! So another victory in the Redneck Garage. This poor garden has been neglected for 6 days. Unexpectedly, just one day at a time, busyness happened. We wrapped up the blueberry season, at least our portion of it, out at the blueberry farm day before yesterday. That was Saturday. Sunday's church day and everything. And visiting with kids. And finally today, after 6 days, I've been able to get after it. I knew it would be scary. But we got 3 buckets of possibly usable cucumbers. A couple of buckets of, don't worry, won't go to waste. Look at that and just think of future eggs next door. Because they have chickens next door now. So, future eggs. Now I get to get after the overgrown bean department in there. And I know there's going to be a lot of those too. And of course, everywhere is the overgrown, man, you ignore the weeds for a week or so and it just gets scary. And then it's pretty much a lost proposition for the rest of the year. So that's where we're at, but we got produce. Not sure we're going to get tomatoes this year. Nice, lush tomato plants, but all the green tomatoes are getting picked out, or most of them, by either turkey or deer or both. So there's not much on there, and even the tips are getting kind of chewed out there, like you see that, chewing off the new young growth. That'd probably be the deer. So I don't know, we might probably be buying them all this year. And look what's starting to come on. Just about getting into the ripe zone. So I don't know how much attention they'll get this week. Depends on how much I can sneak out before 8 in the morning, because it's due to be 105 degrees today. And so we got a couple more hot days this week, and then we go back to normal.
Thanks, Ted. You bet.
Thank you.
By the way, I can say from personal experience that if you really work hard at it, you can fit that underneath the front seat on Frontier and Spirit.
As your personal item.
Did you get one of these?
Well, it's kind of the similar
He did.
deal, but yeah.
I like the dark leather. It's nice. All right. Ooh, we got, man, keeps on going. I have more presents than Kenny today. Oh, thank you. Thank you. These are the go-to teacher pens.
Watch out, middle schoolers.
The problem is that I never have the right pen in my hand, and so these are nice because you can grade or just whatever.
Now we can correct in any color.
Are they red pens?
No, it's multicolored. Blue, black, red, and green.
Oh, wow.
All
Okay.
in one.
Oh, is that the catechism?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's the Father Mike Ascension Presents version.
Oh, okay.
Hazy day out here on Kiger Island. And what are we doing out here? Oh, a couple of lugs of peaches at our favorite peach farm. What's it say on the back of the septic truck? Well, there's always something happening on the farm. And today in the barn, there's something new. New to me, anyway. Hey, guys. A little swallow nest in the barn. As telltale, it's the bedroom, and you hang over the edge of the nest for the bathroom, the telltale sign. Today on the Redneck Garage, we've been doing a little riding lawnmower maintenance. And we've got the blades sharpened, which it looks like, I thought it was like a couple of years ago we sharpened, but if you looked at the blade, you'd swear it's like 15 years ago. And then the other thing is, I don't know if you can tell from the alignment of these front tires, front wheels, they're a little bit out. They've been out before, much further than that, but as long as I have it strung up in the air, I noticed that it's out of alignment again. And so I've loosened the tie rod, the steering tie rod, and I'll pull that out on each side and show you what crooks. Basically, this tie rod, if you can tell, is a little bit bent. It's supposed to be straight. So we'll put that on the workbench and straighten it out. After a little beating on the vise, that looks a lot more straight. Reinstalled and slightly better alignment.
Earlier in this farm report, I had wondered if the critter cam would show evidence of what's going on in our garden. Well, we'll let the critter cam speak for itself. I'm thinking we're on the Venison Interstate here.